I'm much no Casanova. Me and Romeo ain't never been friends. We are live. Welcome to JB Show. And I will love you from time and times again. Oh, Casanova! Welcome, everybody.
My
Good to
man.
see everyone. Oh, so good to see everybody. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the JB Show on the Revolutionary Blackout Network. I am your host, James Fauntleroy, also known as JB. I'd like to give a warm welcome to all of you and remind you that the JB Show is every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can catch me on the RBN live on Tuesdays at 4, and you can catch me on the Sabby and JB Show at 6 p.m. on Thursdays. I also host my own channel called the JB Font Channel during the week on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please make sure to click the thumbs up if you are liking what you're seeing. And if you have not already, please make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon because you know that the YouTube algorithm does not like us. Today, I have on this very special Juneteenth broadcast with me, I have my comrade and brother for another mother, aka Chocolate Thunder, Nick, Socialist MMA, bringing the facts to all y'all without attacks. Let me welcome. Just welcome.
What's poppin', friends, family? I have to crash JB Show. Always crash JB Show when I get a chance. And in the beginning there, you guys see why I told JB, like, bro, I'm gonna get you high one day. We just be singing songs. We're gonna have fun because JB is the soul of this network, and one of these days, man, it's gonna happen. This should be a good one. Mm-hmm. Also, bitch, yeah. I appreciate anyone who I was on call this morning. We had a lot of great conversation on calling, so we're back at it again. I think this is gonna be a good show too.
Yeah, so good to see everybody here in the chat. Just wanted to say hello to everybody. We have Balthazar. So good to see you. Sweary Fairy in the chat. Bob K. The Shake Up is up in the chat. Yeah, Nick O. Spreading the love up in here. Eric Gray here and accounted for. My lovely Ashura is in the building. All right. We have Candles Boat 504 saying, hey, everybody. Hey, Candles. All right. Good to see you. We got Steven also in the chat as well. Mad Scientist Mike is up in the chat with all the love and fire. All right. Rodrigo says, y'all debating the lesser two evils on call-in? That sounds dope as fuck. When is it? Did it already happening?
I tried. I wanted people, but unfortunately our community is based. Like, I get on call-in thing like, man, I want someone to call in and say something stupid. I want them to. I dare y'all. But unfortunately, calling is like pretty goddamn left, so I can't get anyone to really disagree with me. So that'll happen today. Maybe I'm gonna have like a call-in where I specifically say, "This is a lesser two evils debate. I want to hear opposition." That's the only way I can really get like opposition content on here. Not many people have the ball step in the ring with me like Destiny, right? But anyway, go ahead, JB.
Yeah, definitely. See the change. So good to see you. We appreciate you too. Good to see you up in the building. All right. Mystic is also here. Good to see you. Yapex. Awesome. I'm glad you're here. Good to have you here for the conversation. Chris is in the chat. So good to see you. Love and hellos to you. Defunk says, Dankrupt, but not bored. Thanks to y'all. Good to see you. All right. And we got Saul up in the building too. So, Nick, my brother, I put out, okay, so by the way, people, yes, I still have a Facebook. I know a lot of people are like, well, you got a Facebook. Facebook is horrible. So is Twitter. Guess what? We got to talk to people who we don't agree with to move them over to the left. So, hey, that's why I'm still on Facebook. Anyways, I digress.
So, I don't know how people do like all. I got a Twitter, right? I got a big Twitter, and I'm like overwhelmed with that. Like I see people like they be like follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on YouTube, on Instagram. Check me out on Snap. I'm like, bro, Twitter has me exhausted. How do you guys do that? But sorry, go ahead, JB.
No, it's all good. But my thing is,
I think it's a good idea to reach as many people as possible. I was like, damn, I don't know, man. Like, I have 77,000 followers on Twitter, and that's like, I'm like, all right, I'm good with that. That's too much. It's too much.
You have double than mine.
RBN's killing the game, man. RBN's killing the game.
But here's the thing, though. What I said in a post as I was advertising for this stream and letting people know about this stream is I said this discussion is not going to go the way you think. Why did I say that? I'm going to say it like this, and some people are going to get angry, and that's okay, because you need to sit with this anger and you need to process what I'm saying and realize the logic of my statement that I'm about to make. Okay? So, let me get up close to the camera in normal JB fashion. Juneteenth is meaningless in this point in time in history. I'm going to repeat myself. Juneteenth is meaningless at this point in time in history. Why did I say that? Let's go to the Google machine. To the Google machine, kids. I got you. All right. So I'm going to show y'all something. Boom. 13th Amendment of the United States. Basically, this trumps the actual celebratory nature of Juneteenth. Because the Constitution of the United States in the 13th Amendment says neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for crime, whereof the parties shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Meaning that slavery never ended in the United States. That being said, what emancipation are people talking about? If we're all not emancipated, then what in the hell are we celebrating? That's my thing. That's what this Juneteenth special is about. Why are we celebrating a holiday that supposedly celebrates emancipation when we are not clearly emancipated? Facts and figures. Let's get to it. Because here's the thing. The United States is only 5% of the world's population, but yet we have 25% of the world's prison population. Over half of it, of the prison population, almost half of the prison population in the United States is Black people, descendants of slaves. Guess what that means? That means that you have people who are literally being subject to slavery right now. So why in the world are we celebrating Juneteenth while we don't really have a true Juneteenth to celebrate? Nick, your thoughts?
So, JB, let me get this right. Are you telling me that your heart wasn't moved when the Biden administration made Juneteenth a national holiday? That didn't move you? That didn't uplift your spirits? Are you telling me that did nothing for the Black? It seems like you're saying that, which is crazy to me. The idea that, are you saying the Democrat Party don't really care about Black people? You're trying to say this holiday didn't do anything for us? Guys, let me tell you something. I don't think I ever celebrated Juneteenth in my entire life. Like, bro, you got the Black codes. What the fuck are we celebrating? And this is by design. Like, they want us to think that there's a job well done. Look how many white people think racism was solved after the civil rights era and civil rights movement. Y'all worse than MLK said he had a dream, so racism is done. People will legitimately believe this, guys. Legit. So they want us to just, job well done. We still got child slaves in the Congo, prison slave labor, but job well done. Celebrate. Take a drink. This is on you, Black people. This is on you. You did it.
You did it. We did it. We finally have liberation, true liberation in this country.
I guess we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up. You know,
RBN was fun, man.
Unfortunately, Black people won White supremacy? Nah, zero.
To be frank, JB, to be frank, I am offended that you think that our country have not made president. We had Barack Obama. We had a black president, JB. We had a female black vice president. Do you know who Lloyd Austin is, sir? Do you know who Lloyd Austin is? First
Should I
black
give a fuck?
secretary. He black. He came straight out of Raytheon, showing that we all can make it if we bomb black people. God damn it, JB. You showing you sound ungrateful to me. Are you telling me? And this is what Bill Maher was saying. Bill Maher was like, when he had a conversation with Dr. Cornel West, he like, the first female black president. We got Ketanji, JB. Ketanji is on the Supreme Court. Things are going to change. Meanwhile, JB bitching. Look, watch some Bill Maher. Watch some goddamn Bill Maher, James. And let him explain.
They're probably looking at me and going, JB, that ungrateful nigger. What the hell's wrong with him? Complaining about not having liberation. Come on.
Guys, Bill Maher legitimately quoted Joe Biden making Juneteenth a national holiday. And he quoted Vice President Kamala Harris being anointed vice president as reasons why black people should be okay with the Biden administration when he talked to Dr. Cornel West. I didn't cover that clip on this show, but I have seen it. So this is funny, but this is legitimately what the Bill Mahers believe. They legitimately believe, yeah, the Democratic Party, they expand the military, they expand the police state, they crushing the workers. But man, you should really vote for them. They're better than the Republican Party. They made Juneteenth a national holiday. Do black workers get that day off? No. But it's a holiday, though. How do people fall for this? Jesus.
Black people, let's have a conversation.
Yep, let's have it.
Let's have a conversation, black people. Family, we need to talk. And one of the things that I need you to recognize is that you have been brainwashed, right? And you're going to say, no. The Democratic Party, they've been on our side for generations. And it's like, really? Tell that to the president that eulogized a segregationist and white supremacist. Tell that to the current president that also did not want to have busing, that said that he didn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle. Tell that to the president who said that he wanted to cut Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, which would also affect black people a lot. Tell that to the same president who also helped become the chief architects of the 94 crime bill. Tell that to the president who also did the bankruptcy bill. Tell that to the president who also was one of the chief pushers for the Patriot Act, which took away our rights to privacy within this nation. Tell that to the same guy that was part of the administration that was going to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid until a threat from Bernie Sanders to run made them walk it back, because he was going to run basically to stop Obama from wanting to do these cuts. Tell that to the same guy that was also the vice president, part of the administration that was the largest destroyer of black wealth in the country from 2008 to 2016. I'm sorry. How has the Democratic Party supported black people? Now, I know there's going to be liberals going to be like, but the Republicans. Here's the thing about Republicans. We know they're shit. We know that. So you don't have to come into the comments and say, but Republicans. I mean, if you do, go ahead. I mean, we can use the engagement because the algorithm doesn't like us, but it's whatever. You're wrong, but whatever. But yeah, Republicans are shit. So we already know that. But do you know that the Democratic Party is shit? This is one of the reasons why we're having this conversation. Black people, you need to recognize and realize that you have been played and you have been you have basically took your liberation and gave it away simply for optics. You accepted the black faces in high places just because you see somebody that looks like you, even though they're your oppressor as well.
Do you guys want to see the funniest video of all time that sums up liberalism in a nutshell? Listen to this, JB. I don't know if you saw this, but this is. I want you guys to see this, especially since we're talking about this, because this is what the liberals really believe. Let's just watch the video.
Biden is, but I see Biden is down with his black folks. Can I just read? I looked into this. Here's some of the things he's done.
Sure.
Appointed one of the most diverse cabinets in history. Of course, black and female vice president. Directed federal agencies in the first day to address the impacts of systemic racism. Extended the eviction moratorium. Executive order to improve educational opportunities for black people. DOJ sued Georgia over discriminatory voting laws.
Chokeholds! Oh my God!
Black child poverty by 40%. And Juneteenth. And first black woman to the Supreme Court. No good?
Those are wonderful, given
but why do you call him milquetoast then? I mean,
he's milquetoast because he still is tied to Wall Street. He's got crimes of foreign policy.
No, but he's a politician.
Saudi Arabia is mistreating the immigrants.
Let's go back to JB. You can chime in, but I want to get back to the list. Let's look at the list in its full glory. But you guys see what this is, the average New York liberal. This is how they really believe. They really believe that black people should be grateful because Biden has the most diverse cabinet of capitalists ever. Biden made Juneteenth a national holiday. But go ahead, JB, and I'm gonna pull up the list again.
After that, Nick, you made me do it.
Now you see why they had Crystal Ball on instead of RBN. Like, imagine you trying to hold that shit to us.
We are not doing this today, Nick. We ain't doing this today. Nope. We ain't doing this today. No. If I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna do this shit sober. No, we ain't doing it.
I'm way. Here's the list, bro. Here's the list, just in case you need a reminder. This is. I'm glad you gave me an opportunity to show this because I didn't have time to cover this story. What Biden has done for minorities?
Cardi.
Guys, this could be a fucking comedy sketch. But Bill Maher is 100% serious. The Department of Justice banned the use of chokeholds by federal law enforcement. And did that stop our people from being killed by the police? Guys, that doesn't mean shit. They could still do it. Then they're gonna launch an investigation. Did he use a chokehold? Actually, he was well within his rights to having that chokehold because they was resisting arrest. Bro, that first shit doesn't even mean anything. The second thing, that doesn't mean anything. Infrastructure plan, which is shit, and didn't
pass. Infrastructure plan? What?
Yeah, where?
Wait, hold up. Like, where? What infrastructure plan are you talking about? The hood still looks like shit. What are you talking about?
Bro, Bill Maher, he's talking about infrastructure plan while Joe Biden's military and Navy is poisoning the waters of minorities. They poisoned the water of indigenous people in Hawaii. They were caught dumping toxic chemicals in the black community and burning an unburnable, indestructible chemical that causes cancer, causes birth defects, literally cause people to go blind and develop skin rashes and cancer. That is what they dumped in our communities in the South. But
did Bill Maher let that hair gel get to his brain or some shit? Because, like, bro.
Wow. He's been on some hardcore shit. I remember when he was like, you know what? I got my eye on Amy Klobuchar as a serious. Bill Maher endorsed Amy Klobuchar 100% unironically, guys.
Oh.
I'm dying here, guys. I'm dying. Look at this. Establish Juneteenth as a federal holiday. See, this is what I'm talking about, JB, man. You sound ungrateful to me. You sound ungrateful. That Biden.
Taste that with some tea.
I know we're not. All right, here you fucking complainers, right? Yeah, black people don't get Juneteenth off. Yeah, we black people still got to go work on Juneteenth, but this is still significant.
America.
Guys, explain to me, what the fuck does that mean to me? Like, what does that mean to the average black construction worker that still has to work 12 hours that day? What the fuck does this mean? Nominated first black woman to the Supreme Court. And this is what I was trying to tell Black Twitter and well, I wouldn't say they wouldn't have it because my tweet went pretty viral, but I had hurt some people's feelings. They're like, we having a black woman on the Supreme Court. Guys, did you guys listen to the trial or listen to her confirmation and how she got there in the first place? She is not there to be a black radical on the Supreme Court. She is there to interpret the white supremacist colonizer laws on the book as they are. And she literally said that. She literally was like, I'm not an activist. I'm here to interpret the laws as it was written. So why the hell would this be considered a win for the black community, having a black woman who's not going to challenge the laws? She's going to read and interpret the laws as the white colonizers and slave masters written them. So explain.
Hey, Nick, can we okay, you know how we go real, right, on RBN. Can we call a thing and call it out what it is? Black people who are in the Supreme Courts, they are tokens.
Yeah, 100%.
They're tokens.
Liberals and conservatives legitimately believe this. They legitimately believe that, like, black people in upper society, they got there and they just got black opinions, and they climbed the ranks of the political system in the business world just out of pure meritocracy and the fact that they're hard workers, they're intelligent, instead of the fact that they literally puppets of white supremacy. They literally believe, look, Clarence Thomas, he's such a hard. All black people should strive to be like this guy who sold out our community multiple times. Liberals like, man, you black people should strive to be like Barack Obama, who, bombed Africa, created slave states in Africa. They literally believe that the black people on top of our society got there because they are well-behaved, intelligent, top of the crop black people, instead of the exact opposite. Like, listen to Malcolm X. Hell, even listen to Tupac, who's a fucking communist, right? They will never allow RBN on Bill Maher. They allow Dr. Cornel West, but we are significantly to the left of Dr. Cornel West, right?
Yes.
If you're not coming from elite academia, if you're not some black millionaire, business owner, celebrity, they don't want to hear from you. Because they know any true black person. And I'm saying that, like, I'm not saying that as someone, you're not black. I'm saying everyone I know, everyone I personally know, that's not like a litmus test of your blackness. I'm telling you, everyone I know will look at that list and they will cackle. They will laugh and they will mock it the same way that JB and me did. But Bill Maher and the liberal friends and the liberals who have black friends who are liberals, they will watch that segment and be like, yeah, God damn it, Cornel West. Always starting something.
Mm-hmm.
You always
something negative.
Always negative Nancy.
Yeah.
So this is why you need black media that can call this out. That was a beyond absurd. And then the last one I didn't get to. Executive order to hold police accountable for police misconduct. Hey, question, guys. How many of these police officers been held accountable thus far? I covered it on my call-in show this morning. There's an entire Uvalde police cover-up going on right now. I'm gonna cover it on the YouTube channel here soon. I just did a whole story on Call-In about this. But you think this random executive order? What is the enforcement mechanisms of this? So if there's a police misconduct, if police was caught like lying and refusing to release body cameras, like the Uvalde police is doing, they refuse to release body cameras. What is the enforcement mechanism of this executive order that will hold the police accountable? I would love to ask them that question. They're like, well, we will get the DOJ. We will get the judges. The people who are on the side of the cops, the system who is built to protect cops. Someone explain to me, what is this? So you want to hold police accountable. You guys want to know what the liberal way of holding police accountable? So let's read that executive order at face value. This is Joe Biden. damn, the police fucked up over there in Baltimore. They got caught killing someone else. We got to send them more money. Let's hold them accountable. We got more training. Paid suspended leave, sir.
All right. Look, the liberals' way of actually holding police accountable is like that parent that tells a child, I'm going to count to 3, and when I get to 3, you're in trouble. And they go 1, 2, and then the kid stops, and then they keep going again. 1, 2, and then they stop, and then they keep doing it again. 1, 2. Does those parents piss you off? That's the liberal equivalent of holding police accountable. They always do the threat, but they never carry out with it. So guess what? We're saying 3, motherfuckers, 3. Say 3. Do the shit that you said that you were threatening you're going to do. Say 3. But they never do it because guess what? They don't want to. They never want to. Thanks, Songweaver, for the super chat. Thanks for keeping it real. Thank you so much. We try to keep it as real as we possibly can. Look, I'm sick and tired of people talking about how, we have to be, kinder to this system, because, we have black people in these high places now and they're going to look out for us. No, they're not. If that's the case, then Clarence Thomas would have looked out for us. Did Clarence Thomas look out for us? Did he? Y'all know the answer to that question. Did Barack Obama look out for us? Did he? There's a lot of people who say, oh, yeah, well, he's the first black president. He definitely looked out for us. I beg to differ. Yeah, happy Juneteenth. So, I'm going to share my screen really quick. Let's take a look, sir. Don't you just love when facts and figures come out? Hindsight's always 20/20. How Obama destroyed black wealth. Right? So it starts off, it says, the Obama presidency was a disaster for middle-class wealth in the United States. Between 2007 and 2016, the average wealth of the bottom 99% dropped by $4,500. Over the same period, the average wealth of the top 1% rose by $4.9 million. This drop hit the housing wealth of African Americans particularly hard. Outside of home equity, black wealth recovered its 2007 level by 2016, but the average black home equity is still $16,700 lower. Much of this decline, we'll argue, can be laid at the feet of President Obama. His housing policies led directly to millions of families losing their homes. What is more, Obama had the power, money, legislative tools, and legal leverage to sharply ameliorate the foreclosure crisis. He chose not to do it. This article in Jacobin actually goes over what he did by, for instance, letting off the crooks. You had Bear Stearns, you had Lehman Brothers. Well, not Lehman Brothers. They went out of business. Citigroup, JP Morgan, all these different companies that basically were screwing over the American people. They said, yeah, we know you're screwing over the American people, but here you go. Here's trillions of dollars to you into your coffers just so that you guys can stay afloat. When instead, what they should have did, and this actually would have been a lot easier, was anybody that was defaulting on their mortgage, they could have just took all that money and sent checks out to all the people. They would have actually, the bank still would have gotten that money back because people would have paid their mortgages and saved them from losing their own homes. And then the bank still would have got that money in a trickle up fashion. But instead, Obama said, fuck all y'all, I'm going straight to the banks. And I'm going to pay the banks. And then the bank said, oh, we got the money. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Fuck you, homeowners. And then they let the homeowners lose their homes in foreclosures. So guess what? Part of this also is Obama, despite being the first black president, he is also part of the oppressive system that we are trying to ameliorate ourselves from. Because guess what? Rome, what the hell are you doing on here?
Let's go. We got Rome here now. Let's go.
It is Father's Day. You should be resting and patting your feet up. He's talking on the phone. He came on my show just talking on the phone.
My bad, man. We've been calling about Father's Day and whatnot.
Yeah, man. You're supposed to be at home, resting your feet, just chilling because, it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. I'm at the crib. I took the day off, man. I went to work, but I was like, fuck that. I gotta put.
Then why you doing on here, man? I mean, I love that you're here, but
we were just having fun, bro. We were just having fun today.
Okay.
I was hearing a conversation on YouTube. I'm like, all right, I want to drop the answer. But yeah, I want to hear what you're saying. So shit, because you had gave me the invitation. I'm like, I'm gonna take that motherfucker. I might be late, but I'm gonna show up.
And JB, he just played my favorite song. He just played my favorite hit. The whole Barack Obama Tank Black Wealth. That's my favorite hit because that was when I wrote my first article ever on Substack about. My next one coming out literally in a few days, guys. I'm literally getting the editing proofread right now. But our first article was a scathing critique. Josana joined too. Josana's the GOAT. Josana's the GOAT, and she's here. She's here. But that's my favorite. That's my favorite jam. But before I get to that, Josana. What up, my friend? What's up? We got the family here today.
Feel like a Tuesday.
I know CJ probably enjoying his Father's Day. No.
Nah, let him enjoy his Father's Day. CJ, if you're watching, put your feet up, grab some cognac, and get a bong and enjoy your day, brother. That's all you got to do.
If my windshield won't crack, I'll be getting my feet done right now.
Oh, man.
That sucks, man. Stabby in the house, but she in the comments. Stabby in the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the way, I had some of this because after seeing what Bill Maher was saying, I had to take a couple swigs. I just had to take the last of this.
So Savvy is here with us in spirit.
Savvy.
So we got essentially the whole family here.
Savvy, good to see you.
So Savvy is here with us in spirit.
All right.
But Josana, how you doing? I want to talk about the Barack Obama taking wealth. I ain't forgot about that, but we gotta give us proper introduction to the amazing Josana here. What's up?
Hi, fam. I'm joining in red because it's Juneteenth, right? We dress and eat bread for the liberation. I am very tired. Yes.
I'm wearing this day. No.
Yes.
I need to take the thing off. I was in public, bro. You already know what fucking time it is.
I want to say hi to all the people in the chat, especially Ultraviolet, See the Change, like people that I love so much that are here supporting this show. And I'm so happy to be here with Romanick and JB. I'm like, damn, this is a family one. Let's do this.
Yeah, there's a family get together, right?
I'm so happy I'm hot.
What happened? JB was like, bro, anyone invited? And we like, all right, we about to crash JB stream. We about to crash it. But anyway, I want to talk about Barack Obama tanking black wealth because that's my go-to when I'm talking to black people who still like a Barack. I'm like, do you know what he did to our people? Do you guys know the story of Eric Holder, his attorney general, who he was literally hand chosen by Wall Street, and I'm sure this article get into it. I read a lot of these articles, right? But Eric Holder was handpicked by Wall Street. Remember when Barack Obama's, as exposed by WikiLeaks, his entire cabinet was picked by Wall Street. Eric Holder and his attorney general decided not to prosecute the Wall Street bankers who was criminally foreclosing on our home, meaning they was forging signatures. Guys, do you guys really know what happened in 2008? It was a criminal assault on poor people, but it was aimed mostly at black people. Like the amount of people that was going after in Wall Street, and Eric Holder chose not to go after them, right?
And never mind the fact that he also had in his cabinet people like Paul Volcker as well as Tim Geithner, who are also Wall Street lackeys inside his administration as well.
Eric Holder was the inside man. Why do you guys think Barack Obama got mansions and shit now? He is set Barack Obama was an agent of Wall Street that was meant to pick the people in charge that would transfer the wealth from the working class to their rich friends, which is why, just like under the COVID recession, you had the rich, you had the billionaires, you had the millionaires make more money while the working class is being starved. This is the function of capitalism. This is not the flaw. The function of capitalism is to take as much wealth from the workers as possible and shift it to the capitalist class. And that is what they accomplish every 5 to 7 years with one of these crashes, aka a controlled demolition. So they knew the controlled demolition was going to happen. So they stacked Barack Obama's cabinet filled with Wall Street goons, including Eric Holder, who decided not to prosecute Wall Street. Barack Obama is an international war criminal. Yes.
Yes, Savvy.
If Obama was Oprah, Eric Holder would be Obama's Stedman. Man, you guys knocking ran on Obama all day, so you guys got.
I don't want to know who's gay.
Motherfucker. I got Barack Obama derangement syndrome. Hate that motherfucker, man. You got black people have no idea how much like he aimed at our communities. Like it's not like he accidentally hurt us. He aimed at our communities and purposely fucked us up because he knew he could get away with it as a black man because he's a fucking actor that is supposed to be on head of the state. It's how all politicians operate. They're actors, and then the people in their cabinet that are usually chosen from industry, they write the legislation. The lobbyists write the legislation. Biden had a ton of healthcare, big pharma donors, and now he's hiking Medicare costs for seniors, essentially sanctioning seniors. Guys, the politicians do not write these fucking policies. And Barack Obama was the perfect, most malicious attack from the liberal establishment, not only on black people, but on poor people, on Latinos. He was the deporter in chief. Then Joe Biden took the baton from him. He's like, I'm going to start it again. We're back, baby. We about to, the deporter in chief is back in the motherfucking house. That is what they do to us. Sorry, I'm high, so go ahead.
I think I'm jealous because like my shit's ending and then I have to go all the way to fucking New Jersey to be able to find a dispensary. But anyways, we can talk about that too. But anyways, I was thinking about this idea of the hero that is so needed for the American people, the Superman. Superman is not even from this planet, but for some reason he's white, blue-eyed, and wear the American flag's colors. Like this man that can hold the whole globe on his back and do everything and save everybody. This idea comes from the first time fascism was rising in the world. And Nietzsche, that philosopher, he writes The Will of Power, and he also writes the need for that. I read these books in Portuguese, so like translating them to English to me is hard. And that idea is an idea that is being used by the US government for a long time. The idea that I need some strength and some power, some force outside of me to be able to have everything I want in life. I need to be saved. The need to be saved. And then we go back to white Christianity, the white Jesus that many times I'm saying here, like the savior that dies for all of our sins. Like 7 billion people on earth. And that one white man from Palestine was the one like dying and saving all of us. And like the idea of when I do something wrong, that was the devil and not me. So transferring forces from the outside of the humane unity, it's something that the US uses, and it's been a long time. So Obama is precisely that. You gatekeep so much. You exclude Black people to the point that we see no fucking hope. We die every day in the hands of the cops. We're beaten to death. We have no jobs. We have no hope whatsoever. We are seen as second-class citizens. We are treated as pieces of garbage. And then we elected Obama, the great savior of the Black people. And it's a lie. Why is it a lie? Because every person that runs, it's not to be trusted. Every person that is a politician, it's not to be trusted. And they are not a hero. They are figures. And that's why I say, for you to be able to go there, you will have to hurt your own, like Obama did to Black people in the US and all around the world. And speaking of being Pan-African, if I am Black and I'm only worried about my people, I'm only worried about the Black Americans, then I am just acting like the white supremacists that govern this country. If I am Black and I am in power, the US is not going to be the US anymore.
Yes, Rosanna.
He killed people around this globe. He was the worst president ever. I can tell you because I'm not from here. Like, he inflicted the coup d'etat, bombed, he deported, he sanctioned. So, like, the idea, the myth of the hero, it's something that we have to do a work in ourselves. Like, it's not possible that we're watching all this independent media, we're reading all this news, and we are not erasing that idea that someone is going to come with the torch and liberate everybody. No, you have to cheat, betray, and be an asshole to be able to be a politician. Sell your soul. And Obama, if he ever had one, was preparing himself his entire life to be the traitor of the Black people.
Mm-hmm. Say it for Black people in the back, Rosanna. That's exactly what we need to tell our brothers and sisters. The crime of it. What he did to Black people overseas is insane too. He killed Gaddafi, who was essentially wanting to create a Pan-African alliance, and he wanted an African currency that was independent of the United States. And they're like, "Oh, he's a fucking dictator. We gotta kill him."
Yeah.
Go ahead, JB. How can you call yourself Black and kill a Pan-African leader?
You know, my thing is that this is why the holiday of Juneteenth rings so hollow. The reason why I say it rings hollow is because if Juneteenth was truly a holiday that actually celebrate our emancipation, then we would have the redresses addressed. We would have, the repairs made to us as a people, both economically, both materially, mentally, and physically. All of that would have been done already. Another thing is the Jim Crow laws basically took that holiday of Juneteenth and said, not on our fucking watch. And guess what? Then that's when Jim Crow came in after Reconstruction. And so if you want to talk about how Juneteenth is, a holiday to be celebrated, I will celebrate it when we actually have true, actual emancipation from oppression. The thing is that you cannot, just because it is spoken of or is, in optics, does not mean that we actually have it. Because you literally have a system that is still steeped in white supremacy. How do I know? How much money was sent over to Ukraine for Nazis that are fighting who hate people like us?
Bro, if they, and we know this number is a joke, right? We know it's a joke. But imagine if Joe Biden and everyone in Congress sent $55 billion to Black people, right? Not nearly enough. But imagine if they did that. You know how fast white America would be in the streets fucking rioting if Biden just cut us a check? He's like, oh, here, $55 billion, let's divide it among Black. Bro, white people would be in the streets rioting right now. But we do it to Ukraine. No one bats a fucking eye. What the fuck? To Nazis. No one bats an eye.
They actually have rallies for these people. But
that's
why I don't celebrate. Like, I don't celebrate these holidays. Just like what JBS said. Like, but I got my own ideologies and disbeliefs and whatnot. So I look at all holidays in America as bullshit and a way to spend your money, a way to get you out of the house during the winter and whatnot. So I'm not I don't look at Juneteenth and be like, okay, this is the day we celebrate our liberation, while we still have the majority of the prison population be Black and people of color. That's nothing to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to celebrate. Black people haven't won the fight in America since the civil rights. And I don't even think we actually won that. This shit is still going on right now. So
yep, every month is Black History Month. Every day is Black History Day because Black history is human history. We should be talking about this every fucking chance we get, not just Juneteenth. But how I would celebrate Juneteenth and how we should celebrate Juneteenth moving forward is radicalizing Black people. Like, that's the only purpose of this holiday at this point. Is for us to go on, hey, you gotta know Juneteenth is bullshit, right? And this is why. These conversations is a must-have on Juneteenth. For damn sure. You guys know this is like daily content for RBN. But on Juneteenth, this is definitely when these conversations gotta happen. But I think Josana went on there, right?
Yeah, I just think like if you will talk about liberation, and I feel like every single point that was conquered by those that came before us has to be respected. That's my philosophy. I respect my elders, and I understand that it's hard to do so when your elders sold themselves and they stopped fighting like everything was good when they were able to get mortgages and buy cars. But that is good, because to revisit and think what happened, why is there this time in history where American population, especially population of color, got so numbed, and how they numbed us, so we can understand it and not fall for them. Because right now, with the current ongoing crisis that is only going to get worse, economic crisis in the US, you will see a shift in perspective, because it will be easier to radicalize yourself because you're feeling pain. It's hurting your own self. So you angry. The prices for food are super high. The rent prices are high. So you start getting in an anger state. But the good thing about the anger is that leads you to radicalize. But when you radicalize, you have to organize, because you need your eyes to keep on seeing what is making you angry and do not lose the direction. In times like this, it's really dangerous to just be an op, to just be used by politicians, to just be even used by people that want to grift or take money out of you. So you have to like focus and understand that your anger is coming from your own people who were brought here by violence, and they paved the way for us to continue the path of freedom and liberation until none of us are in chains. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, JB.
I had finished. Go ahead.
I want to share my screen really quick because there's something that I wanted to bring out, and this is part of the article that says a program designed to fail. Let me enlarge this a little bit. So it says, after the 2008 collapse, Wall Street banks that caused the crisis got spectacular sums in the form of the Troubled Asset Relief Package, or TARP, and discount loans from the Federal Reserve. According to one estimate, they received a staggering $29 trillion in cash and loans. $29 trillion.
That's more than what they want to give Black people for reparations. And this is why I say 15 trillion isn't enough. That's actually a slap in the face. You look at me and say 15 trillion should be enough for you, Black.
Okay, so according to that, the 29 trillion is actually brought out in an article that I went on and read the link to, and it talks about the breakdown of the $29 trillion that that basically went into propping up the banks. If that is literally $29 trillion that they just basically got for them. What makes you think they can't do it for us? So this is the 25th anniversary Levy Economics Institute of Bard College. This is from December 12, 2011. It says $29 trillion, a detailed look at the Fed's bailout and financial system. And it talks about how let me start here. It says, for example, as reported in Feckelson's paper, we can look at all the measures of the primary dealer credit facility that was created on March 16, 2008 in response to troubles at Bear Stearns. The PDCF was effectively a discount window for primary dealers to ease strains in the repo market by lending reserves on an overnight basis. If we use the cumulative measure, the PDCF issued 1,376 loans totaling $8,950.99 billion. By contrast, the peak weekly amounts outstanding and lent were 156.57 billion and 728.64 billion, respectively. So basically, adding all that together amounts up to around 29 trillion. So it says three estimates: 150 billion at the peak, 700 billion weekly lending, and almost 9 trillion in cumulative. So basically, it talks about how everything put together in loans as well as bailouts amounted to 29 trillion. And I did the math, because JB's not that good at math. Nick is better at math than I am. $29 trillion divided by an estimated 40 million Black people in the United States comes out to about $725,000 for every man, woman, and child who are Black in the United States. I didn't say descendants of slaves. I just said Black. And if you were to minus the Black people who are African immigrants and Black immigrants from other nations who are not descendants of slaves, then that number per person actually goes up. Meaning that the wealth that was tanked under Obama, just for Black people alone, we could have upwards of $1 million per person. And so that all went to the banks.
Now that facts over your feelings. If you're a white worker and that terrifies you to hear that, facts over your feelings. JB with the receipts. The JB Show, the Education Hour. You guys should be subscribed to JB Font channel too. Why the hell are you not subscribed? You guys should be subscribed to the channel too. JB the Education Hour. I was sitting back like, God damn, JB with the receipts. But hey, fuck it, it's math. That's the fucking Andrew Yang people. It's math, man. That's math. It's our fucking debt. Why are people arguing on behalf of the ruling class? Because that's who we asking to pay, not the poor white people. I don't know why poor white people reparations. Like, bro, you got no money. Like, bro, obviously we're not taking it from you, right? And then that will only help you because the way markets work, we got spending money, which means the market has spending money. This boosts the proletariat as a whole. The only people that are hurt by this are the elites that stole money from us. Why isn't this clear to many people? It's beyond me. But anyone else want to chime in before I get too ready?
I wanted to say, like I was saying earlier, man. I see a couple of people. They are working in good faith and whatnot. They're trying to say, well, what the government owes us is $15 trillion, and I'm like, no. That's way too low. If you want to talk about reparations, we have to talk about all types of reparations, like reparations for Black people. We have been going through things like the 80s, so we're going to need reparations for that. We're going to need reparations for locking our fathers up in prison. We're going to need reparations for all that destruction, everything, not just descendants of slavery, because it all goes down this fucking line of Black destruction. And we need reparations for all of it, every last bit. And this means land, government control, actual reparations, actual power, say so over our waters. Yeah. That's reparations. If you're going to come to me with $15 trillion and try to divide it in between us, it's not going to do anything but feed the machine back, because we're not going to own anything. We're not going to, they're not going to let us sit here and buy up everything. Black people start really coming together. You're going to see us disappearing, just like we always do. All right. So yeah.
And I said it before. I think we should give reparations to Palestinians. Anyone who's a victim of that ICE, because I'm coming at this as a Marxist perspective. If you're a Marxist, you must support reparations. Reparations is the most powerful way that we can transfer power from the elite back to the proletariat that they have harmed and damaged. You cannot call yourself a Marxist if you're against reparations for Black people. Go ahead, I know you want to chime in.
I just say let's go get the reparations, right? Because like the relationship of like I'm expecting the white man hand me money. I'm not part of it, but hey, I am not ADOS.
Yes.
I am not from here, but I do understand. But also understand that y'all should stop calling USA America. Because in the end of the day, I am ADOS. I'm from America. I'm descendant of slaves. Every single Black person in any of the Americans is a descendant of slaves. They came from Africa, kidnapped to work in cotton in the north, and sugarcane in the center and south. Yep. So wake up.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it always drives me crazy when you hear these white people, these conservatives. They will say stuff like, well, how can we trace down the lineage? How we know if you... like, for one, as if we don't know who the fuck our parents and grandparents are. Like, y'all motherfuckers be logging on Ancestry.com like, I'm 3% Irish. My great-great-granddad came from... And you guys think we don't know who our great-great-grandparents are? Are you guys really that fucking stupid? And then even if they're not descendant of Americans, all Black people deserve a check from our empire. Exactly what Josana said. Let's stop them from dividing and conquering us, guys. And this is what many people in the a lot of people in the ADOS movement, they get this wrong. We can't allow them to divide and conquer us. Everyone has a debt that is owed to them. And by taking this debt, you only increase the power of the proletariat. But go ahead, Ron. I know you want to say something, right?
No, because that's my problem with that group. And I see a lot of potential with the group, but I see it has been co-opted. It had to be.
I prefer them the FBA.
Yeah, no, come on, man. If there was a real threat, they wouldn't even have a voice on the internet like that. So I wouldn't even, or out here actually fighting for reparations. I don't take them serious. I see them as a firewall for Black liberation because they want to leave out certain Blacks, or if you're too light skinned, you're too this, you're too that. I'd be like, light skinned, do they not look at Huey P. Newton? Did they not hear how he sound? He don't even sound like he from the fucking hood. You know, Malcolm X, he was light skinned, basically. He was a little bit darker than Josiah, but nigga, he was a light skinned nigga if we was in the hood. Like, are you guys hearing yourself? You're gonna leave out all these Black people, all these potential soldiers because of what? Because your grandparents didn't, their grandparents didn't have it as bad as they're like, stop that. You know, everybody needs land, control of that land, and power. You know what I'm saying? And money to go with that shit, because it's not only, you know what I'm saying, just because my grandmother was a Native American slave and your grandmother was an African slave doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, they didn't go through the same things in these same neighborhoods, projects that they pushed us in.
Yeah, that's like saying you don't deserve reparations because you were a house nigga, but I was a field nigga, so I deserve reparations. No, they were both slaves. Just because the house slave was lighter skinned and they stayed in the house doesn't mean they were any less a slave. Maybe they have received somewhat better treatment, yeah, but they were still subject to slavery. It doesn't matter. Like, come on.
House of slaves.
75% of our farming land, right? They let Bill Gates get 75% of our farming land, but they haven't even said anything about our 40 acres in the mule. And what's happening now? Farms and all type of cattle was just dying in spontaneous combustion for some reason.
I'm just impressed by how my relatives from the north just buy into that propaganda bullshit from white supremacy. If you were mean to your own, if you see yourself a little bit better than the others, and I'm talking about Black Americans seeing Central and South American Blacks as lower class citizens, if you see yourself a little bit better than the other, maybe, only maybe, you can have a seat at the table. Count even the coons that had a seat at the table. 3, none. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Y'all get too much entangled in this culture that was created to you as a culture. And to be quite honest, it's not. Core cultural identity needs a group of symbols, ways to, I need the translation. Core cultural identity needs a group of symbols and costumes. Mores? What? Mores? Like, y'all in this country have not a core cultural identity. You have what is being given to you by the white people in power, yes, and you are repeating that behavior as this is the truth of life. I am going to be superior. I am not going to accept the other. I am going to control the means of production just for myself. I am the boss. I will be the king. I will be working hard to be a billionaire and then have all these enslaved Black people all around the world working on my products, and I won't care. Right, Beyonce? Mwah. Right?
I love.
Isn't that what we do here? Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was about to say I love that point that you was making. And by the way, remember, guys, Josiah speaks 4 languages. So there's that. And they did rob us of a cultural identity. It's a form of cultural genocide, which is America is known for. There's no culture that they led us into the culture of consumerism. That's it. That's literally what people's culture is. I remember George Carlin had an amazing bit about this when he was talking about how people are fucking boring. Like when you talk to the average person, they just talk about how much they consume, right? I went to the mall this day and I got dressed. Oh my God, that's it. It's just a culture of consumerism. They're like, oh, watch this on Netflix the other day. Like, what are you doing to better yourself, to enrich yourself? Like, what are you doing anything with the community, your family to come together? Is there anything that you guys are doing like at your crib? No, just I'm watching Netflix. I'm going to the mall. We went to the restaurant. We ate great food. It's nothing but consumerism. This is American culture. It's not our culture. That's why I love the point you was making. But Josana, you want to chime back in? I kind of interrupted you. My bad.
No, you did. You did great. Thank you. I need your help and JB's help so I can speak American because people won't understand me. But that's this thing. Like that's why I think y'all don't have a culture. Because let me explain why I'm getting to this conclusion. So people don't think I'm blankly just insulting and get defensive, because this is a trace of America, of people from the US too. They get insulted by people criticizing their country and they get defensive and they don't listen. So I'm going to explain. I am an outsider. I came here in my early 30s. I am not, so in my early 30s, my head and brain is already formatted in a culture, right? And I wasn't propagandized since I was a child into believing that this system, it is what it is, and this is how we live, and that's our culture. So I'm here, and I'm trying to be here because I chose this country. I moved there, and I have the whatever it takes to be a citizen here or whatever, and I'm here. Okay, so now I'm here, and I'm legally here. After a while, I am going to be an American, and then there is a no. And I'm trying to understand why, because I'm like, okay, so I am going to eat a traditional food from America. There's none. I am going to dance a traditional dance from the US that everybody, Black, white, indigenous, are dancing. There is none. I am going to, but then I start realizing that this kind of core identity culture, that if you guys go to Brazil, you're going to see everybody does the same. It's non-existent. So I started trying to find, and I created this project, How to Be an American. I don't know what's going to be yet, but soon it's going to be something because I'm still observing and taking notes. where that's what you say. Being an American is buying stuff and wearing brands like you are yourself. What is the big thing that they put outside? In Times Square, you have the big things shining, the signs with billboard. You are yourself a billboard for the brands that you paid to use. You're not getting paid to wear them.
Let me tell you something, Josana. I think you would like this because I told you I used to train at Brazil Academy. That's where I used to do Muay Thai, I used to do capoeira, I used to do jiu-jitsu. I used to train with Ninja. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And it's literally a pure Brazilian school. Obviously, there's outsiders like me who we come in, but literally we got a large Brazilian community in Kansas City, and that gym is mostly Brazilian. And I hung out with a ton of Brazilians, right? That's why me and Josana immediately click. I like, she got a Portuguese accent. I hung out with a ton of Brazilians back in the day. I love Brazilians. And you guys will see the difference. I never traveled to other countries. Other people who travel will tell you the same. But literally just being around them, there is a culture. There's like a code. Like when we did capoeira, that was a big part of capoeira. Not only just the art, but the code, the culture in doing that. Americans they do not have this. I'm telling you. Most people, their American culture is literally just consumerism. Like someone else said, it's just militarism. I remember, especially when I was younger, I would do martial arts. I would do yoga. I would meditate every day. And then people would look at me like I was crazy. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing yoga, meditation? Like, nigga, you got no culture. You're not doing nothing for self-healing and preservation because our culture brainwash people will just go to work, not work 9 to 5, stack your cash and buy some shit, buy some shoes, watch our movies, watch Netflix, and you will be happy. And then people are surprised that people, like, there's so many people on antidepressants. Like, there's so many people whose brains start to be broken because this is not how we're supposed to live. Our culture was robbed from us by the capitalist influence, right? And that's just my small experience because I haven't even traveled as much as many other people. I was just around a lot of Brazilians, like first generation. Like my Muay Thai teacher, he literally had this white dude who speak Portuguese. He literally had to like translate for him. That's how raw from Brazil a lot of these people was. And you just hang around them, hang around a lot of some of my Latino brothers and sisters who still maintain their cultural heritage. It's like, bro, they robbed this shit from most Americans, right? So that's my rant on that. I love what you said, Josiah. That's why I chime in. Go ahead.
Thank you, Nick. It's just like, as you could see, it's a culture that embraces you. Like in Brazil, we know where capoeira is coming from. We know. We don't like that most of, at least here in New York, most of the influence like big instructors are white. We don't. But we also didn't have what I suppose that happened here, which is like capoeira is coming from the enslaved African people that were fighting, learning a martial art and pretending that to be a dance. Capoeira was created here. The regional capoeira, is important to say that the Angola capoeira is coming from Angola already. We are going to embrace it. It's part of the culture of Brazil. This Portuguese lady made this dish, and every single Portuguese person was eating it. So this dish was made in Brazil. It's part of the culture of Brazil. It's the opposite that happened here. What I think that happened here is that the white supremacy excluded all the codes from the indigenous and the enslaved African people that came here, and they imposed their culture over. Poof. It's like a piece of, like, I don't know, something very heavy. Boom, that's what's going to be. And it didn't allow freedom for people to be what they were. And it didn't create the mingling. It's really hard to, like, if you have a white Brazilian, a black Brazilian, an indigenous Brazilian in a room, and you're not Brazilian, you're going to point at them, oh, they're Brazilian. Not because the way they speak. They can be speaking standard American accent. So, and you're still going to think they're Brazilian.
So, Rosanna, one more thing I want to say, and I'll pass it back to JB. I tell you, we're crashing the show today. But I want to talk about capoeira and how in the origins, right? I love capoeira because it literally, it's a revolutionary martial arts. A lot of martial arts are revolutionary. Now, MMA and martial art now have this bad reputation for being right-wing because of fucking idiots like Dana White. And white America hijacked that.
And the white Brazilians that you all like because the Graysons.
Yeah, the Gracies, man, that broke my heart, man. When Josana told me about the Gracies, I was like, God damn it. But anyway, Capoeira is a revolutionary martial art because it came from Afro-Brazilians who was enslaved. Remember what Josana said. We are all descendants of slavery, right? So they were not allowed to congregate and learn self-defense. There were slaves who was killed and executed when they were caught learning how to use weapons, when they was caught learning how to defend themselves. So being the extremely creative like they are, and you guys know how resilient our people are, they started dancing, and they used dance as a form of self-defense because that was their only option to. They were like, all right, because they would let them get around and dance at like their recess, but any like serious congregation was illegal. But for some reason they would they'd get together and dance. They're like, you can do that, whatever. So they're like, we're gonna learn how to fight by doing a Jenga. And that's the start of capoeira. A lot of you guys just know the capoeira from Tekken, but that's how it started. Mm-hmm. And I can talk. That's what martial arts are coming out. Go ahead.
Well, it's kind of similar to how a lot of Negro spirituals were really just messages to other Black slaves in order how to get to freedom, right? It was encoded in music, and so.
Guys, you know how fast I connect with Brazilians? Because I was friends with a lot of the capoeira. Like, I tell them, like, bro, I know the origin of capoeira, and they'd be happy to tell me the story. Then I'll connect, like, yo, they used to do the same thing to us. Boom, immediate international connection that is made between Afro-Brazilian and African Americans. And this is the same thing what happened in Palestinians and South Africans and African Americans. There's this unifying force that in colonized peoples we inherently have, but capitalists, especially white America, purposely try to divide and conquer us. Do not let that happen. I reject that by all means. But sorry, JB, I just get super passionate when I talk about martial arts.
Yeah. No, that's all good. I just wanted to bring out a tweet really quick that I think you and Josana and Rome would actually really appreciate. And this makes a lot of sense. So shout out to King Pierre on Twitter. King Pierre said this: trying to get Black people to understand class issues is such a task because y'all already got plans to get rich off the backs and harsh labor of other Black people. He continues, y'all goals to be millionaires and billionaires consist of making other people working for pennies to your dollar and exchange excessive money for services your own community can't even afford right now.
Goddamn.
Y'all see Black and brown people collectively and can't even afford to pay rent, and y'all sat back and said, how can I make sure that they can't afford to pay rent in the future? So basically,
become landlords. That's what he's saying. But go ahead, JB.
Basically, I
got my landlord a nigga, man. He over here vibing, taking our fucking money.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, wait a minute. You guys talk about, elevating the Black community, but y'all doing the same shit that a lot of these, rich white people are doing, that are trying to basically, milk us for everything we got. So how does that make you better in any way just because you're Black if you're doing the exact same thing? That's the crazy part. And then you look at the rich Black people that are super famous, that they talk about wanting to elevate Black people, but then when it comes right down to it, they don't really do shit for the hood. And then they'll act like they do shit for the hood, but guess what? They're the same ones that are doing this shit on tax write-offs. It's like, no, you're not really doing it for the hood. You're actually doing it to write it off on your taxes. That's what you're actually doing. Like, don't come at me with, oh, I give back to my community. No, the fuck you don't. No, stop. Sit down. You don't actually do it for the Black community. Because the thing is, if you actually truly did it for the Black community, for your community, then you would be doing shit like what Rome and Josana are doing. You'll be doing shit like that. But you don't. So therefore, because you want to copy the people who are oppressors, stop copying oppressors. Because the thing is that if you continue to copy oppressors, that means you're creating more oppression.
Like
because the copy makes more of them. That's that. Yeah, go ahead.
All our local celebrities, they always come by for Thanksgiving and all these bitch ass holidays, Christmas and whatnot, but they would never come by to, you know what I'm saying, share the wealth or give buy your mother house that she has been renting for 20 years and all this shit. They don't even buy their own mother houses. They will leave their mothers in the house, and you can tell how much people actually do for the hood, the way the hood accepts them or accepts them back. Because if you just come back here and just, you know, all right, here's a giveaway, look at my fancy car, blah, blah, blah. By the end of the week, you're getting robbed. I guarantee it. So, but if you're going to come here and say, hey, you know, we're splitting wealth, I got plans to get you guys up here, we're buying back the community. I bought this apartment building. I can hire all you guys $25 an hour and more. Fix this up. If you know somebody, blah, blah, blah. But they just sit on millions and millions of dollars. They blow it. They spend it on diamond change. They'll put it up their nose or put it up their ass before they ever give it back to the black community.
They're pretty much giving back to white people. And that's a good question. I'll pass it right to you, Josana. But think about it like this. Whenever you had the black capitalists who they flex and they pretend they're doing humanitarian activity, they're like, oh, we all got these black businesses. I employed all these black people. Ask them how many workers have they enriched? How many workers have they lifted out of poverty? The black capitalists, they never mention that. They're like, we got all these black businesses, all this stuff. Their workers, they're exploiting their workers the same way a white capitalist will exploit them. It's the same thing. They're still in their labor value the same exact way. So when you have people like, I'm a black business person, I care about the community, ask them how many of those black workers do you lift out of poverty. A lot of the answer would be very little because they exploit black workers. All capitalists exploit workers. But sorry, Josana, go ahead. You can add your point.
I love what Sabi just said. Instead, she's doing red table talks. She talk about how her husband is just lapping people in the Oscars. Anyways, I don't like celebrities. I mean, because like the reason why I say I don't like celebrities is like I have been an actor since I'm 10 years old. I have worked in film and TV. No, Rome, my net worth is not $17 million. Somebody told Rome my net worth.
Oh my God, damn! She was off on tour for the poor. I'm like, I need some more money. Yeah.
No, I know what is to be in this world, and I know that you have means to be there without being a celebrity. You can just go and do your job and be a normal person. Every time somebody votes for the celebrity thing, I'm like, yeah, you're just in a cult and you sold your soul. But the reason why I'm wanting to chime in is to like read this comment. Thank you, Artur, for your super chat. Culture in this country causes people to base their worth on their value and position in the capitalist system. So this is right. This is just like the tweet that you just read. What else can I add to that? And that's what I felt too when I started having when I had a bank account and I had to have a credit card that like gave me a credit, but also fuck it up like in the next 5 seconds. I'm like already in that. And it's because of the system. But I started seeing, and even like when I professionally started getting jobs here, like working in restaurants and everything, I started seeing that your word has no value. Your principles have no value, especially your principles. You being a reliable person, no value, no freaking value. Your value is what are you wearing? It's from what are you wearing, from how much you have in your bank account. And that's why you see so many stories of like, at least there is one in Netflix right now. And I'm so mad because like we live in times that there is no human value. Like this girl, she had a Ukrainian accent and she's white, obviously. She came to New York. She stayed in a hotel in Soho. Soho is like an upper class neighborhood. And all the trendy people they always float around Soho. And she starts going to dinners and staying in the hotel and paying in cash. And everything was very weird, but she was always like in parties and everything. Turns out, and she was like, I'm a trust fundee and my father, and she found a building that was in construction in the city. And she's like, my dad bought this building and we are going to build a culture, like a museum. And everybody's like, yeah, I believe this white lady. She's saying she's rich. She behaves like rich. She dresses like rich. And I think it's so funny because time over and over is showing us that no, that's not the path. Because the lady went to jail because she was a criminal, but now she has a deal on Netflix. Her show is on. She's rich. So the culture in this country is to reward criminals. Because a criminal, to me, it's never a person that went into selling drugs because they had no other option. A criminal, to me, is not a father that stole food from a supermarket chain. A criminal, to me, is these people that they fool other people in order to make a living. And here in the US, you are rewarded if you are an asshole. And I'm sorry, I don't want to get JB demonetized. I love JB, but I curse. And don't do that, YouTube. Don't be a pussy. And I can say that because I have one. Anyways. Oh, sorry. I'm not high, and that's why you get when I'm not high. I need to be high to be straight-minded. But that's what I see. Like, you are rewarded in this country if you are lying, if you are a criminal, if you fool other people.
Yeah.
If you laugh, if you are a bully, the figure of the bully in the school with the football jacket. If you are that big pile of shit, we're gonna give you money. We're gonna call you king. That's what this country does.
That is what it looked like when your mind is decolonized, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the person stealing from Walmart. I'm worried about the Wall Street crook. I'm worried about the war criminal.
Yeah, we're gonna bring up people stealing shit from Walmart. Okay, people steal from all the time. Look how much people then Walmart have stolen neighborhoods, took neighborhoods from people just being in these areas. For one, wages. They have robbed us of our small businesses. All of these things, they run them out of our neighborhood. Had the prices so low that people couldn't deny them, then they raise them sky high, and there's nowhere else that you can go. So if you want to talk about the robberies of Walmart, we can talk about it. We can talk about how Walmart really robbed our neighborhoods.
Yeah. Just one thing I wanted to say, and this is kind of in line with what we were talking about, how you have a lot of Black people who get basically really rich and they don't really do anything for the hood. Okay, so here's my question. If you're Black and you're a billionaire, why haven't you gone into a Black neighborhood, purchased the business, and took that business and sold it back to the employees for extremely cheap and let them all collectively own it so you can make it into a co-op? You're already a billionaire. You don't need any more money, so therefore you can take that loss. That $200,000-$300,000 loss, you can absorb that. That's fine. And you can sell that business back to pennies on the dollar back to the workers so they can collectively own it. Why aren't you doing that? If you truly care about uplifting the hood, why aren't you doing something like that?
Yeah, when they touch that,
if I had the money, I would do something.
As soon as they touch that billion, as soon as they hit 10 million, they gone. They're gone. You know what I'm saying? They start to hit them parties and hang around all their celebrity friends and snorting real cocaine now. So they ain't thinking about us.
But,
you know,
but that's why I always bring on this quote from Bob Marley. Yes, I'm going there and I'm going to read it. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. So, like, for Rome's point, because like it really bothers me that I have been trying to speak with union organizers and they don't want to speak to me more because who am I, right? I am nobody. And they just want to speak with the corporate media that's going to make them take pictures with Zendaya. And yes, I'm addressing this person. Yes, I'm addressing y'all's friend. Because if he's y'all's friend, you've got to call him out. Because I expect y'all to do that to me, Josanna. You having an episode. You're gonna call your family in Brazil and send you over. Like, I expect my friend to call me out. Because, like, another wrong concept in America, you cannot talk some stuff because they are your friends. You talk because they are your friends. You call them out if they are your friends. You check them out on their egos. Because the ego is the voice in us that speaks capitalism. So if you want to change the system, if you want to be equal, if everybody has the right to the means of production, we all workers, watch out so you don't become one of them with the illusion of, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to keep on being radical. That brings us to that photo up of the Eat the Rich freaking dress. While Black Lives Matter were being beaten and arrested by the police across the street. It was not even in another neighborhood. It was across the street. So, Mr. I wear the jacket saying, Eat the Rich. Actually, the dress was tax the rich. The jacket, the dress tax the rich. The Eat the Rich is the jacket. I'm wearing Eat the Rich jacket. Come talk to the basis of your movement. Wake up, Black man. They're using you like a puppet. And I'm tired of seeing Black men in this country be used by white people like a fucking puppet. The same day the government met you, shake your hands, they gave a bailout to Amazon. The same week. Billionaire bailout to Jeff Bezos. So are you still going in their parties? Are you still not going to talk with your people? We have to call each other out when we are losing sight of what are we doing. And if you are doing this to just be famous, let us know. Because we have no time to lose. We actually have zero time in our own calendars. Because we're going to die if we don't take action. It's life or death. But niggas been playing games. Niggas been playing video games. And they think they're going to have a control at some point. And everything is going to magically disappear. The only thing that's going to magically disappear is y'all's life. And I'm sorry, this is Father's Day, it's a Sunday, it's JB show, and I'm pulling it down. I'm a freaking Debbie Downer. I'm a shout out.
No, I feel you, man. You know, that's one thing I don't want to see is, another good, mouthpiece go down the shitter of celebrity, that celebrity mindset. And I see it, I just let it be what it is, because at the same time, man, like the shit that happened to some niggas around me, niggas who was activists, they was out here, then now they on Fox and MSNBC, and they just keep going back. They contributors now, right? And it's like the hunger isn't there anymore. So you gotta, your hunger isn't there because you're around a whole bunch of wealthy people that's full. You're not around the people that's hungry, that's hungry for change, that's itching for change, that's dying out here, And it's like, okay, do your thing, boy.
Now let's draw some truth.
Don't forget where you came from. That's all I got to say about the shit. But
now to round this part, let's draw some truth bomb for a moment, guys. So now, why don't you see a lot of like boutique, even progressive channels having working class Black people on their shows? Why do people have to beg, like people? Shows that call themselves progressive, why do you guys have to beg them to host RBN? Because they don't even want to hear from working class Black people. They'll talk to Brown Joy Gray. Don't get me wrong. They'll talk to a Dr. Cornel West. They'll talk to a Nina Turner. And we talking about the professional Black class now, right?
Brianna Joy Gray is a great supporter of the show, but she's needing a checkout also. She's needing a checkout, but go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
I was say, don't get me wrong. They're not diss on Dr. Cornel West or Brown Joy Gray because they're class traders. But notice the people they are willing to talk to. They are not willing to talk to working class Black people like us because we're gonna tell them some shit that's gonna make them uncomfortable. And big shout out to Bree because she had me on her calling show. She hosted us before. She's not one of the people that's scared to have us on. That's why they class traders. So I
want to see her hosting more Black women that are non-mainstream media. I really do. And today, in this day, it's important to say that to our Black and brown family that are in this mainstream. And I understand that Brianna Joy Gray gives you great support. But I want to see her doing that to her fellow women, because in internalized patriarchy, it's something that we have to wash with like iron brush.
And now you guys saw what happened when you had JB on Status Quo. The crowd was like, holy shit, this is a perspective. I saw the comments. They're like, we need more of this perspective. They're not used to hearing it. When I debated Destiny, a lot of people was like, I got like literally like 3,000 followers that day when I debated Destiny. They were like, holy shit, never heard this before. Because they only used to hearing one class of Black opinion. And I'm not even saying that opinion is inherently wrong. Because I agree with Bree and Dr. Cornell West way more than we disagree, right? So, but they are not going to allow someone who is unapologetic Black working class Marxist. So we were like, I'm like surprised they ain't fucking taking us down yet. But like, we can preach on our channels. We can build our community, people who want to accept us. But our strategy at RBN, I'm not looking for approval. I want us to grow our community with our own message, with the acknowledgement that this message is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. Like we did 90 minutes of Black radical talk. If you made it through it, big props to you, because there's going to be a lot of people who consider themselves progressive, a lot of white workers who, and they just literally just by the fact, if you look at the approvals, when white Americans, they're like, we don't like that reparation shit. We don't like that socialism shit. So we don't want But anyway, JB, I'll pass it back to you.
Well, I just want to address something, and to my comrade YepX, you said debate Mike from the Humanist Report. Look, hang on, somebody clicked off of it.
Wasn't me.
Rome, stop. So shut up. I love you. So YepX said debate Mike from the Humanist Report. Love for you to destroy him. See, here's the thing. I don't want to destroy him. I want to move him to my side. The thing is that, and here's the thing. If I'm willing to talk to somebody who is a conservative in order to bring them over to my side of the left, in order to see the logic of why being in a duopoly is detrimental to us, I'm going to do the exact same thing to somebody from Mike with the Humanist Report. I'm going to have dialogue in order to be able to move him to our position. It is not, I don't really want to destroy. I want to destroy capitalism, white supremacy, and imperialism. That's what I want to destroy. I want to make people like him into my comrades so that we can be able to move together and destroy it together.
Man,
but the thing is
that nigga ain't doing this shit to enlighten nobody. His job isn't to teach people. It isn't to liberate anybody.
But this is why we need JB though. We need some
middle. Stop being nice, man. And this is what's gonna get you fucked over, boy. Stop being nice. I'm glad to be that devil on your shoulder to give you a second.
All I'm saying is that's why we need JB here. We need that radical compassion.
Yeah.
My thing is,
I say be nice, and I go behind you with my gun shooting them. You know what? You're smiling, and I'm like, "Hello, motherfucker!"
Right?
I don't have a gun. I don't have a gun. I don't own no gun.
Mike has a better education. I'm pretty sure Mike has a better education than all of us. He should have a better understanding on politics than all of us, and this is why he's
been doing this for years
in politics. This is why he found his money in a way to move beyond in the middle to find, you know what I'm saying, to keep his spot. But we threaten that with actual liberation. You can't tell his crowd that, you know, the only way to make America good for everybody is through revolution. You can't tell his crowd that. They'd be scared of shit because of how he kept them in line for all these years. His job isn't to liberate. If he's been here for years. He's been here for years now. David, I forgot his fucking David Packman, Kyle Kalinske. If all these people, they all been here for years, and they seen even the cycles of rotating villain, the Barack Obama types of people coming in from small offices to the president, and they don't like. Come on, man. Like either you see it and you benefit from it, or you're a fucking idiot, and we should move away from you. Because if you ain't learned by now, you never will.
I'm gonna tell you guys something. Like I love that. Like RBN is my family, right? This is my family. So these are the people that I see it on camera on, and I talk and I incriminate myself all the time on camera with. And I'm like, I don't do many shows. People won't invite me, and I'm so glad because, like, to be quite honest, I'm gonna go there, and I have nothing to lose, and I'm gonna make them ashamed of themselves because there is this one, and I feel like I can say everything to you guys that is not a problem. You're always like gonna because I don't know nobody, but I feel like there is one white podcaster that he puts like an American flag and he calls himself a patriotic socialist. And I'm like, my nigga, you white, you're calling yourself a patriotic socialist, you're calling yourself a Nazi. I look sideways at you, but it's funny to see that he's one of these people that he's always doing like, no, not Vosh. He's always doing like this debates. Like he's like, I won, and then I'm like.
But with Mike, I want to tell you guys about Mike because I got to chime in with Mike because that debate is never gonna happen because he blocked me on Twitter a long time ago. Because when he used to follow me, he blocked me because I called out his hypocrisy. Because remember, he melted down when Jimmy Dore had his conversation with the Boogaloo Boy, but then he platformed Andrea, who was literally a Nazi in 2019. So I called him out for it. I'm like, bro, why are you criticizing Jimmy Dore for talking to a Boogaloo Boy who says he's now anti-racist, but it's okay for you to platform someone who was literally a Nazi in 2019? And then he blocked me. That was it. So that's never good. That conversation is never gonna happen because I called him out for his shit livery. So there's that. But anyway, just want to go ahead. I just want to add that context on Mike Figueredo.
No,
right?
I just feel like if it was even educational, the fact that like one thing is like when you went there and you unmasked that person, that person had Nick, you did that, had a face, and also JB, like that person was like, oh, with JB, was like, oh, but we agree more than to disagree. Okay, so why are you being a gatekeeper, asshole? Get out of the way. Let people do the work. Black people and indigenous people need to take the lead. And them, I'm not taking no lead. Them being in the US.
Wait,
and they
what?
need to take the lead.
Savvy?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. He was, I saw. I didn't watch it, but I saw him.
He was on Vanguard recently.
All this shit is doing horrible. The views are horrible. All of them. Every last one of them. And this is the only reason why is because people move on from these. Like I had told you guys before.
I don't know, man. With this conversation getting derailed though by the comments. This conversation, guys. This is probably we probably talking about fucking Juneteenth, and now we talking about YouTubers because a few comments. So we can always get back on track. That's another option. Just saying.
Yeah. I
this really only because of the comments. That always happens. Like we be talking about some substance shit. Then your guys like, what's your opinion on this YouTuber? I'm like, okay, I guess we gotta talk about this now. But anyway, I'll just let you guys know.
No, I was just saying that I feel like this to me is all bullshit, to be quite honest. Like I have no time in debating, and I understand that you guys have in school debating classes. So this is a thing. This can be a thing in the American culture that I didn't know, the US culture. The debate is a thing for you guys. To us that we are poor and have nothing to eat is more about the action. Work the floor, work the soil, plant the seeds, harvest, right? So I think it's when you have a vehicle like that, when you have an audience like that, stop spoon feeding stupid. I'm sorry for being ableist. Stop spoon feeding empty combats. They are not gonna build anything. They're not gonna educate. They're not gonna build a movement. Because I was thinking, like, I remember when Nick was like, oh, we want you on former FHL, RBN now. And I was like, yes, because we're going to go there and we're going to talk the things. And then we're going to be like, so next week, everybody in the streets, this is going to be the point we're meeting. And we're going to do this. So I was thinking it's more like that. And of course, educational, because we have JB, Sabi, These are citizen journalists. These are journalists. This is a show hosts, and they are great in what they do, and they educate. I watch because I want to educate myself.
Mm-hmm.
But never, and now there is this tendency of one talking bad about the other. And this is like inflaming the audience too, because you see the comments. How about this guy? How about this guy? How about this guy? I don't care about any of these guys. First of all, it's too many guys. Way too many guys. Way too many white guys. I don't like it. I feel threatened. I don't feel safe. When there is that many heterosexual, cis-het white men dominating a situation, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe in the world. Why would I feel safe anywhere else with that many white men, cis-het white men? So I think by doing that, by falling into that trap, we are being part of the distraction. We are spoon-feeding empty conflicts to our audience. And I know it's fun, and we all need some fun. Let it be fun, but it cannot be the only thing. I really don't care. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is when it starts being excessive, and instead of action, we're just pushing silliness.
All I'm saying is it happens all the time, and I don't want to hear you guys complain because it's always you guys. Like we be talking about something, and you guys like, what do you guys think about this YouTuber? And then like, damn, we fell for the trap. We fell for the trap again. So it's fun to have these conversations. You know, it's media critiques. I'm not above it, but I think we shared our thoughts, right? JB, anything else you want to add?
Well, I actually like to get to this point, to kind of close out about Juneteenth, as I was talking about earlier. There's an actual article that came out in Common Dreams, and this is very interesting. And this one's entitled "This Juneteenth: What Freedom Stories Will You Tell?" And the subtitle says, "We need to reconstruct media systems built on violence, specifically anti-Black violence." And Vanika Williams and Diamond Hardiman actually put this out. And one of the things they actually brought out in this article was that there were a lot of media. Here it is. Okay. It says right here in this paragraph, it says there are links between historic practice and how the federal government later allowed Southern broadcast license holders to use the public airwaves to foster violence against Black people during Jim Crow. In the modern day, we see a continuation of anti-Black trends in the media as big tech is profiting off surveillance that disproportionately targets Black people, and as social media is overrun with disinformation aimed at our communities. And so they even, advertised back in the day, sales of slaves in their, papers. So here's the crazy part. It's like, what makes you think that they have actually, these big corporations that are media conglomerates actually divested away from that? Because really, truth be told, they're making money off of our pain, hand over fist whenever there's something happen. Like the George Floyd protests, they made a lot of money off of that. These corporate media figures. So with that being said, when it comes to, things like Juneteenth, if we really want to make Juneteenth something substantive, I think one of the best things for us to really truly do is to go back to what our elders of yesteryear did, which is the emphasizing on radical love, on liberation, things like what people like Huey P. Newton did, like what Fred Hampton did, like what Angela Davis did, Fannie Lou Hamer, all these people that actually pushed for this and did it from a leftist or Marxist or socialist perspective in order to get us away from this colonized type of in order to get us away from this colonized type of mindset as well as culture. And so I think that that's how we can help to really truthfully make Juneteenth into a truly legitimate holiday, is to do that. And that also includes encouraging revolution too.
Yeah, I'm not celebrating no holidays until, you know what I'm saying, we take full control of this shit. Holidays, it makes no sense. It makes no sense for black people to, like, what the fuck, y'all? What is wrong with y'all, man? Y'all celebrating Juneteenth in America. Really? Dog, we still have the 13th Amendment. We still have our... Get off your ass. Make a change. And then I'll think about celebrating these damn holidays. And until then, miss me with that bullshit. It don't make
I have a question that I want to ask you guys. And I want all of you guys to chime in for this one. Because remember earlier when I showed everybody the 13th Amendment and how it still has an exception for slaves, right? So people will be like, well, I didn't know that it had an exception for slavery. But then that same person may chime in and go, especially at this part, as exception for punishment for crime whereof the parties shall have been duly convicted. This part right here, you have a lot of people who will say, well, I mean, if they did the crime, then, you know, maybe they shouldn't do these crimes, and then they wouldn't have to be subject to, you know, this system. What would you say to people who say that, well, just don't go to prison then?
Nigga, what?
All I'm saying is, though, people literally devolved. And I just want them to acknowledge it. Like, they think they're a part of this advanced society. They think they're part of this advanced culture. But humanity, we literally already decided that you need a standard in which to treat prisoners. Literally, slave masters and slave owners was like, yeah, maybe we should have some standards. If you don't believe that we should have standards on how we should treat prisoners, just admit that you literally devolved by like a few societies. You're literally a few centuries behind. Let's be clear. Mm-hmm. If that's their argument, like, oh well, if you don't want to be a slave, don't break the law, motherfucker. Societies have long since established that prisoners deserve rights. So at least admit that you are centuries behind on this issue.
And another question. I'm sorry.
I just want to say, like, I love when we can interpret texts and see the mask taken off, because that makes me think of, like, so now we know who was the war on drugs on, right? Yep. They were catching slaves. The police was doing what they were created to. They were catching slaves. People with like 0.5 milligrams of weed were getting arrested as drug dealers. See the color of these people. See where they're coming from. Mm-hmm. And no, marijuana should not be legal until every single person that is arrested because of it, free.
Mm-hmm. And gave money and give money and resources to them, land and house.
Yeah. And records clean. Records clean. Clean record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And let's not act like even if, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's not act like we don't know a motherfucker that has been, you know what I'm saying, framed. Because it was a story just in New York. It was a story in New York of a cop planting things on people. They had to drop like 300 or something cases. 300 for one cop. Now think about that going on in every other black city. Now think about how many black people fell victim to that. And they weren't even committing crimes. They was just going about their day, probably arguing with their girlfriend, getting some air, going to fucking work. And they just see this black person, they like, oh, well, I gotta fill my quota, catch a slave. So
yep. And here's something that a lot of people just don't think about. When you talk about, oh, don't break the law, what if the law is unjust? If the law is unjust, and now you're put in prison because of that unjust law, and you're subject to that slavery, are you just going to tell that person, well, just don't break the law?
Well, about what happened to tyrannical government?
So that's the thing. It's like and then on top of it, when people say, "Well, just don't break the law," so you're still in favor of slavery then? That's my question. You're still in favor of slavery if you're okay with this exception. It's like, don't walk it back. Because they're like, oh, well, well, what about the rapists and murderers and people like that? They are minuscule in comparison. And even then, you should try to apply rehabilitation before anything else. Because here's the thing. There's a lot of people who are in there for non-violent crimes or who are in there haven't even been tried yet. And you're talking about
Oh no, JB.
I think JB froze. Yeah, I think he froze.
Somebody take a picture. Screenshot this.
Wait.
I'm still here.
Oh, he's back. I took it.
Yeah. Oh, did you take one?
I was taking a screenshot, but I didn't have time.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so I mean, that's my thing. Like the whole making excuses for the exception, it's like, wait a minute, you're basically giving license for slavery. Like, are you against slavery or not? Because the thing is that that's what it is. Please do not make excuses for that. Because one time I actually had a conversation with somebody about it, and they said the exact same thing. Well, if you don't want to be a slavery in the prison system, don't break the law. And I'm like, okay, so you just admitted to me that you smoke weed. So should you be a slave in prison? And he's like, oh well.
That's how colonized his mind was. Like literally, like when your mind is that colonized, it literally only take a few questions.
Motherfuckers don't even think to you know what I'm saying, to go against. They don't even think to go against the system. They just go like, oh, I can't walk here. Okay, I can't do this. I'm not gonna do that. Like, nigga, what's gonna happen if you actually just do that? Just do it.
Because of the figure, like all the like Jung, Carl Jung, this psychologist, that he codified a bunch of like the nice stuff that we know from psychology nowadays coming from him, but pretty much he has like a book of the symbols and the archetypes, and there is a big archetype, a collective symbol in America. As the hero is one, there is also the correct person. Remember when we were saying like your word here doesn't mean nothing, your values don't mean nothing, it's how much you have or what you're presenting. But the correct person, the person to be admired as a citizen, as a person, as the snitch, is the person that doesn't react, doesn't win over the bully. The bully is coming to beat you up. What do? Turn the other cheek. It's written in their fucking book. They use like a book for the white Jesus, like, here, he say, turn the other cheek. Every Sunday in their heads. And they go into jail.
Jesus against us, they're gonna use Martin Luther King. They're gonna flip through all the shit that he didn't say that was radical. Like, oh, well, this is what he said. He said you guys shouldn't be. Like, no, he also said this shit too. You know, we got a lot of leaders that said a lot of back and forth things. You know, but we live in today's days, and I can't live off of everything. I can't go off of shit that Malcolm X or Martin Luther King said and live off that shit day to day in 2022.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably about head out because I did call in earlier today too. So make sure you guys check out Nick and TJ tomorrow. I'll see you guys around.
All right,
love you, Nick.
Be smooth, man.
Okay, now we trapped JB being on air with me in Rome. We're gonna start talking about sexual education at 2:56 p.m.
Oh gosh, that's quite a different
June thing just got super. I'm joking. I'm sorry.
One thing I wanted before we transition,
derail,
and lose like half of the people who are watching.
I don't know.
I want to.
These motherfuckers.
I love you, Rome. So, one thing I want to bring out is this article. Now, first of all, we all know that the Hill is corporate propaganda. But yo, this is some revisionist type bullshit. They say U.S. prison workers produce $11 billion worth of goods and services for little to no pay at all. Just call them slaves. Prison workers? That's like when there was a elementary school history textbook that called black slaves as migrant workers. Like, get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me right now? What in the heck? What in mayonnaise hell is that? Y'all gonna tell me that you're gonna call us migrant workers, and then you're gonna talk about slaves in prison. You're gonna call them prison workers. What? Are you crazy? Are you kidding me right now? God, the cornstarchery of it all. Like, get the fuck out of here with that mess.
It's mesmerizing. The hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is the base of these so-called culture. Migrant workers, but JB, I'll be quite honest with you. I'm a migrant worker. I feel like I'm working like my ancestors as a slave. Maybe they have a point there, just there. But like, they didn't come here. They were brought by force. They were kidnapped. Like, they would do everything they can to not recognize. And it's like, don't talk like, oh, so I'm gonna tell this story later. I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy, because it's really important for us to understand, because between the lines, it's where lives the secret. That's why people say the devil lives between the lines. If the devil means knowledge, read between the lines, interpret the texts. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm bobbing.
Nah,
this is
there's a
my bad.
There's a message for Rome on Rockfin. Rory O'Neill says, "Can everyone please tell me how to reach Rome? I wish to see him on my road trip, Detroit area."
Oh, yeah, you can reach me on Twitter, Unholy Rome. The E's are 3. Just DM me. My DMs are open, man. I'm gonna contact. We can contact each other. Swap phone numbers. I'm always down to help some people and whatnot. I got some things going on up here. I know I'm gonna do something up here before I leave for Kansas. So if I'm down here around the time you hit here, then
what do you
sorry,
mean?
JB.
It was Robin Legend watching Lost Stars of the Rich and Famous, where we see a bunch of black migrant workers going on a luxurious.
Now it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, but like somebody had told me, like, it's an old ass saying, something like, if we got 4-person profits, then they basically got a reason to lock your ass up. It's for profit. And they're saying that they made all that money off of these people's backs with little to no pay. This is, I don't know how many times y'all gonna let them flex on us. Be like, hey, we got you. You know what I'm saying? We just, billionaires has made $11 trillion. Workers just lost $11 trillion type shit. They would gloat on it. I don't know how long y'all gonna let these niggas flex on y'all, but this shouldn't be. And this is why I always tell you people, the prisons are the ones are you know what I'm saying, are gotta be the ones that gotta get radicalized. If we want to lead a revolution and shit like that, then we have to get you know what I'm saying, people that already live in communist ways, moneyless ways. Basically, they're not making any money, in them prisons. We have to let them know that we can get a hold of their enemies. We can take over these prisons if that's whatever the fuck the thing is. But we're gonna need them people that already lost their lives. They already spent 25 years, 15 years, and been wrote off, lost in the system. That really have nothing to lose, because if we out here talking about Democrat, Republican, all these people not ready for no damn revolution. You got to talk to people that already lost their lives, or not afraid to die, I should say.
Yeah. One of the things that I wanted to also, end with is, do I think the concept of Juneteenth is good? Yes, I absolutely do. But do I think that it actually has this fulfillment for us to really truly celebrate it? No. It's great optics, but that's all it is. It's just optics. It's basically the Juneteenth as a federal holiday is the equivalent of people like Nancy Pelosi wearing kente cloth and kneeling. What has that done for you? What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. That's basically, yeah, I'm singing that. But
I have a question. Sorry.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
On that title that you posted with the 11 billion, they were talking about the prison workers, right? So
yeah,
I have an innocent question of an outsider, and I think that the show is finally born in my mind, and I might be able to do that on RBN, and it's gonna be so good. Anyways, look at me getting yes, ideas while on air. So this U.S. prison workers produce 11 billion worth of goods and services for little no pay at all. This is not only slavery, but every time somebody comes and be like, made in America, it's not from China, it's not exploiting children work, it's actually exploiting people's work. The made in America that people are so proud of, American Eagle, like these things, these brands, they are made from slave work. As they say, things from China are made too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so now am I right? I'm
right.
honestly asking. I don't know that. I'm honestly asking.
Right.
So they are using what they are pointing out is actually what they are doing themselves.
We call that in the mental health community, we call that projection.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's what we call. And the United States does a lot of projection. It's just like they will talk about how this person is a dictator because look at what they're doing to the people, when really, in all actuality, the United States is doing it to us. That's projection, and that's what the United States government does. That is what the really the mainstream, not the mainstream, the corporate media does. They do a lot of that too. They do a lot of projection. Like, for instance, they will talk about how they are objective journalism when really, no, they actually have a capitalist pro-corporate slant to everything that they say and do. They are biased. The thing is that they just don't want to admit to you that they actually have a bias. I will admit to you that I actually have a bias. My bias is anti-capitalist, anti-white supremacy, and anti-imperialist. That's my slant. And I will bring it out every single time. But at the same time, I will back that shit up with facts. The thing is that, and I'll back it up with facts that are not skewed in one way or another. It's backed up really just by objective fact. But the thing is that when it comes to a lot of these corporate media, then they do it basically skewed according to the narrative that they want to push so that they can make more money from the Raytheons and the Northrop Grummans and the Exxon Mobils and the BPs and the Pfizers. So that's what they do. And so, yeah. So I said all that to say that Josana is right.
I want to
address
this person. I don't know if I remember you or anything, but I don't block people unless you racist, you hang around my ops, you liking comments that's about me. You know what I'm saying? Because I would do that. I would let somebody talk shit about me just to see who's hate following me, right? Mm-hmm. And I will block those hate followers. So those only people I block. So if I blocked you, you probably deserved it. So yeah, I don't know what I can do, man. You know, maybe I'll check out your page and see what the fuck you about. But other than that, yeah.
So, with all that being said,
JB, I just read everything you just told me. Thank you so much, because I just learned so much right now. You're such a great teacher. Thank you.
Yeah. No. Thank you so much. Now, before we go, I'm going to try to exit out of the stream quickly because I do not want Rome and Josana to devolve the stream till when we start giving sexual advice to all of our viewers. because I know they're heading to do that. That's why they came on the stream originally. It wasn't to talk about Juneteenth. It was to talk about kinky shit right before we leave. So then I end up having to apologize for all the actions at RBN, and I have to give disclaimers like the opinions of some members of RBN do not reflect the opinions of all of RBN. So that's what's about to happen. I know it's about to happen. I kind of actually secretly want it to happen, but anyway.
All I gotta say is you guys are you Americans, I believe, you know what I'm saying, the antidepressants and all that. If you knew how to masturbate properly, you wouldn't need the you wouldn't need you wouldn't need those not even all that yoga. Yoga is good. Yoga is good. Learn how to stretch. Use those for use that for the bed. You know what I'm saying? You can spice up your relationship. Don't be afraid to use it if you are in a new relationship or whatnot. You never know. But you gotta make sure that you take care of yourself and stop being afraid to put your hands on yourself. This is your body. This is your body. Why are you scared of? Why are you afraid of yourself? Stimulate yourself. Go to sleep. Wake up. Do it again if you ain't do it the right way. But
Gamer, we told him we wanted to do an RBN After Dark, but then I made the joke, and he's gonna go. He's not gonna stop.
Yo, by the way, if you guys want to do yoga and increase your flexibility, I wholeheartedly endorse that because, I do like me a flexible dude. I'm just saying. I mean, flexibility, that's praxis. A drink to that. I'm going to drink to that. You know what? My lips a
I'll be like, how these people stay in these relationships so long? They'll be like, they don't love each other. They just have great sex. They just have really great sex, and Yo,
we need to have a conversation about that one day because people really aren't having great sex. Like, some people are like, dudes, and particularly a lot of you cis men out there. We need to have a conversation of why are you so focused on getting yourselves off and doing nothing for your partner? Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all, man?
At a young age, that is not now people are telling me, oh, it's about both. But as a young dude, hanging around, the streets and whatnot, they always told me it's not about, what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel good, but it's not about you, right? It's not about you.
It's not about you.
Right? Listen, you have three.
If your partner do their job, then you know what I'm saying. Then it comes together like a dance or a collision. If you know what I'm saying, y'all. But y'all gotta come 50-50. No pun intended. But and you gotta put your heart into it every time because the first time we do it, that can be the last time. Because if it ain't good, I ain't staying.
Don't look away, Savvy. Don't look away. I'm covering stuff that we won't be covering on the Savvy and JB show because it's too spicy.
Hey, if you have to, you know what I'm saying, talk to your man about it. If you have to, go put on your jersey and do a rim job. If you have to.
Why do I still have this article? What are we talking about this? What in the hell is wrong with me?
I said it the cleanest way I can say it.
JB, what the hell's wrong with you, man? I don't know, man. I forgot. I was just so into the conversation that I decided to keep the article up just to make the appearance that we're a little highbrow when really we're devolved into sexual deviancy. So yeah.
Okay, I would be the good girl. I would be the good girl.
Everybody, it's raining outside, which means it's moist outside. Don't you love it?
Damn, it's raining in Florida. Oh my God.
No, Florida is it rains a lot, no? I always see. I'm
afternoon showers are plenty.
They don't get rain. They get little dribbles, and they call it, oh, it's raining. But they still, these motherfuckers don't walk with coats or jackets, and they just get 5-minute showers, and they know it's gonna be okay. That's not rain. We got rain in Detroit, bro, where it's gonna rain like all month, half of the month.
No, I to be quite honest, I don't understand why, like, Florida, man, they have the best weather, and they have. I'm sorry, JB, but they do. They do have all this, like, this very bad people, very bad people, very bad.
They love the sun. Rich people love the fucking sun. This is why they all through California. They all through Texas. They all.
But they're horrible because when they take this one, that. Sorry.
Florida is the dick of the United States. I mean, it looks like it. So I'm just saying.
Whoa. Florida is not worse than California, and I think a lot of people need to stop falling for that propaganda. Elite, like California doesn't have its own water. You know,
California belongs to Mexico.
Water is fucked, but you guys don't even have your own water. Hurricanes, earthquakes, shit. Oh, well, no, when you guys gonna detach from us? Like, what the fuck? And then you guys are full of straight evil people. Like, you guys got straight evil people there, and y'all just let them roam around. Like, hell no. California is a bad place. It's all actors there. Everybody want to be somebody that they're not. You know, I'm walking through down the stars. I asked this one dude some shit. He like, you know who I am? No.
What?
You know what the fuck? But man, California is the worst. They got the worst people. The West Coast has some of the worst people I ever met. You know, CJ, cool. You know what I'm saying? A couple of people from the West, cool. But as far as their population, you go out there trying to feed people, trying to get to know the language, and you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, just the feel of the community, you just like, oh my God. This is horrible. Everybody is cosplaying out here. Everybody is rich and poor. Rich and poor. You know what I'm saying? Either that or you shacked up with 5 other motherfuckers, bro. It's horrible, man. And
but like I think Trista Rank said they are not talking about the people, but about the weather. And some people prefer the desert weather than I prefer Florida ones because it's tropical, right?
You can go to the real beach.
Very tropical.
I love it. I love subtropical.
Look, your hair is your curls are gonna tighten even more if you come down here, Josana.
Yeah, it's gonna be the real size.
Straight up fro.
Yeah,
you know?
Because here I can never get it because it's always like when I'm in tropicals, it goes.
Yeah, I just wanted a whole rant about Kelly. Fuck Kelly. I love you, CJ, but holy fuck, we got some work to do out there, boy. Especially saying we couldn't carry any guns. I'm like, we can't carry guns. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? But
yeah.
Let me get that right. Some people can carry guns. They just made it hard as hell for poor and black people to get guns. That's what I should say. But yeah, I'm sorry about the Cali rant. But
no, it's okay. I wanted to ask. So while we were talking about California and Florida, I was like, so California belongs to Mexico originally, right? Like territory-wise.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about all the issues that we started talking because we derailed to like all this, because they are all issues and we are in a moment that everywhere hurts. So it's good to also have a laugh, right? When you're talking about one issue, you're talking about all. But what if we had this strength to actually push the reforms and start with like referendums and finding ways to do so that we start with little ones as we want to give California back to Mexico, just California. And we make like this list and people will sign, we'll make this movement. We put the shirts, we like passionate about giving California back to Mexico.
See, this is why you need mouthpieces.
And that's a plan, because if we pressure and we are able to do, and we find a lawyer that's willing to work with us to find where it's illegal to have had the war and winning the territory, we give back.
Oh yeah,
that by itself will destroy the empire, and we need to like melt the empire by doing the right things, by giving the land back, by pushing away the empire by giving the money back for the victims that came here enslaved. We go taking away, and that's why it's so important to decolonize the mind, because sometimes you will do things that are not for your own gain, but they are the right thing to do.
Yeah,
I got high.
I want to give all the West back their. I want to give the natives back their states. Like, I don't want these people with no control, even if that costs me the little power that I gained up. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what they're going to do with their land after that. I don't give a fuck if they build militias or armies. It's their land and their power to do so. You know, like we can't keep on. Like, somebody was like, okay, if we give land back, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if they just come after us? It's like, well, what the fuck?
It wasn't ours to begin with.
Like, that's what we're saying right now. Like, the people that has the land is coming after us. You guys isn't listening. So we want to give the land back to the people. But you're not the thing is, these people see our liberation as revenge. You know what I'm saying? We speak as Black liberation for indigenous, you know what I'm saying? Liberation for the Latinos and whatnot. Then they say, oh, well, these guys are just going to come after us. Nobody said that. So, I ain't going to lie. A couple of people do, but they still are a minority. And I'm pretty sure if we got our own shit together, we won't even be thinking about, you know what I'm saying? No bullshit like that. Trying to retaliate because we want to be having these conversations about how much you disagree on why I should be able to own my own land, you know what I'm saying, or have power in the country that, you know what I'm saying, that I live in. So,
yeah, if we're all about actually true justice and, you know, giving recompense for the crimes that were done to other people, then that means that, you know, what was stolen should be given back. Therefore,
who the fuck is gonna run
the
this
land
shit,
was
bro?
stolen.
If we haven't, like, all you fake ass communists that's against land back, you're using the communist, you know what I'm saying, this hammer and sickle as a logo, bro. But tell me, we have a revolution, okay? It's successful. Who is gonna run this shit? Who's gonna run the land? Who's gonna be the landlord? Is it gonna be the whites? Because this is what it is, right? If we don't give land back, if we don't give blacks 40 acres in the mule, if we don't give land back to Latinos and to the indigenous, what are we doing? What was the point of this? What the fuck are you guys, what are you doing? So no, don't fall for that. I'm a communist, but I'm anti-land back. That's a fool.
You can't be a communist and an American supremacist.
That's a white nationalist.
Because the thing is that this U.S. supremacy type of thinking is exactly why we're in the bullshit that we're in. And the thing is that, you know, the United States basically stole the land from people. So therefore, and true just form of justice would be to actually give it back to the people who you stole it from. So, I mean, that's all I got to say.
Can I say something to address this? Should we abolish currency? I say yes. I would say currency has to be abolished as it's part of the system that we want to abolish, right? I like to quote the ex-president of Uruguay, Pepe Mujica, when a reporter was asking him, but why is it bad if I want to buy a nice pair of sneakers or a car or a house, a beautiful house to live? Why are you so against it? And he was like, I'm not against it. And the reporter was like, but all the communist things you say are, and he was like, no, my job is to only make you aware of the biological time of life. You do not buy things with money. You do not buy things with currency. You buy things with your biological time of life. To buy that pair of sneakers, how many more hours do I have to work? How much food, vitamins, and resting hours do I have to sacrifice to have material stuff? So yes, we should abolish currency because it makes us unaware of our human existence. Sorry.
Interesting. Yeah. So, I mean, with that, I'm hungry. I got to get going. This was a great conversation. I just want to thank you, Nick, for being on earlier. Thank you to Sabby for being in the chat, being our homie. Thank you so much to Josana and Rome for sticking it out and having this conversation. And man, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm gonna find something though, but we'll see what JB got in the fridge, because I'm broke as hell right now. But I want to give a shout out to everybody who are also watching on Rockfin. Let me see. Laura says Miami is scorching, and that's because I'm from Texas Mexico border. Let me see.
JB, can you tell us your Cash App if we want to send you lunch?
That motherfucker don't need no lunch.
Well, I am kind of round. I guess I can, I guess I don't, but yeah. I mean, it's in the description. I put it towards the bottom of the description in the video.
Read it.
The link. So, I mean, if you guys want to donate either to my Cash App or Venmo or PayPal, then that's cool. But I'm humble and I'm deeply grateful. So thank you. But yeah, I don't talk about it too much because the whole grifter talk. You know what I mean? I don't want to get people.
JB, if anyone on earth is thinking that you are a grifter, you are a poor Black man. You are a working class Black man suffering from the consequences of your state. Bro, and every and you have to live in ways because your state won't support you, and you cannot work outside of your house. We know remote jobs are more difficult to find, and this is a work for you too, because you put your love, your energy, your research, and your beautiful brain into it, and you're teaching all of us. We should pay our teachers.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Don't y'all make me cry on camera. I can't spare the fluid, okay?
I'm feeling guilty that I did something bad to your stream.
All these people calling niggas grifters, man, they be the main ones. Some of these people already have rich families. They have no need to have that chat, their super chats up. You know what I'm saying? They will never go broke. They just sitting here just soaking in wealth, generational wealth from people like me and you. So don't feel bad if you have to ask for money. Shit, I just fucking got some money from my followers because my damn screen, something flew off the fucking overpath and hit my goddamn windshield. So fucking pissed off, man.
Yeah. He said he's learning, Rome.
It's really sweet what he said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He said, have a good one, everybody. I probably did deserve it, Rome, but I'm learning.
All right, because a lot of people, a couple of people come out here, and just to be able to troll us, off of Twitter because they already blocked. They already, don't have any way to reach us, no phone numbers or anything. I don't have any Instagram, so I don't trust people just saying, "Oh, you blocked me, Rome." And then I go look at the person I blocked and be like, "Oh, this is why I blocked you because you follow this motherfucker." You like, yeah, like you probably deserved it, but I'm gonna check you out, man.
Normalize boundaries. People can have boundaries. It's okay.
Yeah.
Any people, they can be. Any person can have boundaries.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's good. We're all learning. I definitely am. I'm learning a lot.
All these motherfucking lefties. I'm gonna say it like this: if they come out of nowhere and they get a big ass platform, you know what I'm saying? They just pop. Yes, they got money behind them. It takes money. Like, man, we had to scrape. Our fucking budget is what? Some computer, some chips, and a fucking stapler. You know what I'm saying? A little That's RBN shit, but we make it happen. That's our fucking budget. But these people who have millions of dollars and people that has millions of dollars behind them, the families, you know. So I don't take all these people who pop up out of nowhere serious, because they here for a reason, man. Like they talk about liberation, they here for a reason.
Yeah, I said this earlier. I'm probably one of the only political commentators in this space that has a negative net worth. I probably am. You know, there's only a couple of us that.
I'm gonna like pay attention to like Savvy's Nick came with this thing. Like there are people in this here in YouTube that they serve an agenda. They get funding from candidates, from parties to speak in certain ways. So they punching down an action in order to propagandize us on YouTube, television, whatever, in Twitter, in social media. So like be skeptical of people that are punching down on the time and not of the black man. There is a wonderful teacher that's been open and sharing with you his vulnerability. Learn, do better in judging, because they have all them like straight hair and lights in the wall and producers and they speak like this. Oh, they probably serious. The thing that we spoke about, the image here today. You're falling for fucking hand. I don't have vocabulary. I start getting angry and I want to curse and I can't curse.
Hey, Josana, can I borrow $5 since you got $17 million?
Holy fuck! Give me some money. Buy my house. Buy my house so I can get the fuck up out of here.
Rome loses is like,
hey, you want to be my sugar mama?
I'm pretty sure my girl won't give a fuck. She'd be like, go get that.
Listen, if I ever had that type, and hold me accountable to that. If I ever have this type of money in my hands, I'm redistributing the wealth.
Sorry. The new breaking news. Now you're worth $100 million.
Yep.
It's gonna keep going.
And I work for that man, Green World. I don't know how to say his last name.
God.
If she has $17 million and we walked around New York, I'm gonna be so pissed off. So pissed off. She had me catch that nasty ass train that they call public transportation.
Because I'm humble. We need to learn to be humble.
Yep. Stay humble. Like
we millionaires, we live like we have no money, because like that we can achieve. Fuck that. The Marianne Wilson kind of situation. We can achieve with that. We can achieve. Let's just take a deep breath all together and feel our roots. And we are going to feel here in this moment that we can achieve whatever we want. The reason why I have $100 million in my bank account right now is because I sat in stillness and I stopped thinking.
Stop drinking coffee.
And I stopped eating gluten. And then enlightenment came. And with enlightenment, $100 million. Now, I am a poor person, materially speaking. That's why I walk barefoot and do yoga in the park.
She got time to do that.
I am going to, in the end of this stream, I am going to donate 5 divine towels for the 5 people in the chat that are suffering right now. There is already one going to JB's house. Rome is getting one, and 5 people in the chat. The other people in the chat will get a discount and will be able to buy the divine towel for as low as $999. This is more than 50% discount. This is almost a cost that the divine children of the America are putting work into this. And I don't understand when people talk so loud, so low class. My ears don't hear that.
Hey,
They like
Josana, are you telling us that we need to stop being victims? Is that what you're trying to tell me? We need to
yeah,
just stop being a victim.
poor people in America, they victimize themselves all the time. They're like, I don't have health care. Well, be healthier. Why don't you go for a run? Oh, I don't have. Oh, I'm gonna stop this because people are gonna like stop. People are gonna start like clipping it and be like, Josanna,
I
she
have
is
$100
a
million.
shitling.
Oh my
Yeah, they're gonna clip.
Oh,
They're
glad.
gonna clip me saying these things and be like. But the last message I want to give to all of you: stop being so negative. Be more grateful. We were able to put Joe Biden up there. We are still able of doing so. This is the little of freedom. I can't, guys. I'm having like too much fun. Maybe I'm just gonna sit here with you all because I'm having so
Oh gosh.
much
Guess what, people? That's it for our stream today. I wanted to make y'all laugh. We did our job, people. High fives to Josana and high fives to Rome, because y'all done did the thing to make people enjoy their day. Why? Because laughing and joy is revolutionary. So have y'all hit the like button yet? I'm sorry. Did you? No? Hit it right now. Also, if you're not subscribed, then make sure y'all subscribe. Click the link bell in the description below as well. Because guess what? Y'all know the algorithm don't like us. Oh, jeez, Louise.
I'm doing a dance. I'm like a like dance.
Yeah. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Just kick it.
I'm gonna go get my feet done.
Go get your feet done. And be good to yourselves, both physically, mentally, and emotionally, but especially physically. Love you. Forehead kisses to all y'all. I love you. We love you.
Drink some water.
Drink some water and smoke them if